To 85mm or to 50mm? That is the question. In today's video, we're going to be going over the differences between the 85mm 1.2 USM and the 50mm 1.2. And there's a lot more that happens than just different focal lengths. We'll talk about these in this video and how it will affect you and your photography. Stay tuned. Two of the best portrait lenses available on the market for any mirrorless camera Canons is the 50mm 1.2 and the 85mm 1.2. And there's a lot more differences than just having different focal lengths. They pretty much do the exact same thing, but they affect you and your photography and what happens and what you're going to end up with as a final product a lot. They're quite different in that regard. Just look at the amount of glass used in this 85mm versus this 50mm. It's almost, I want to say, twice to maybe 3 times as much glass is used in the 85mm. The aperture on this is huge. So the price difference, you can go check on Amazon right now. I have some links down there, but as of recording this video, there's only about a 400 USD price difference, making these two lenses almost virtually the same to pick up for any mirrorless photographer. These are very high-end, very fast lenses, and they both have the macro capability kind of, so that you can get really, really close to your subjects and blow out that background even more than what the 1.2 will allow for further distances. And these lenses really do provide amazing bokeh for both of them, almost regardless of the distance to your subject. The number one thing that you're going to notice with these is the framing distance, which is the millimeter. And I'm going to show you some photos here in a second that are going to articulate these main differences perfectly. Now the 85, being a little bit more zoomed in, is going to blow out your background even more than the 50mm. However, since both of them are blowing out the background like a ridiculous amount, you're probably not going to notice that much for one or the other unless you are obsessed with bokeh. Both of these lenses are very, very heavy, the 85 being slightly heavier than the 50mm, which is a consideration for anybody who really is going to be hiking, going anywhere, needing a lighter load. These are probably not the lenses for you. The quality out of them is unmatched, and sharpness, it's almost not even worth comparing the sharpness of these two because it would just be like a thin hair of line. Like, it's just, they're almost the exact same for sharpness. I believe the 85 is slightly sharper, but it's just, they're pretty much on the same page there. They're going to give you very sharp all the way through, from the 1.2 all the way through to whatever aperture you want it at. Now I'm going to jump in and show you these photos. I didn't do a vlog for this demonstration simply because it was like -15 Celsius outside, and I just didn't have the capacity or desire to freeze my hands to the extent to bring you that. But I will show you the photos that we finally came up with. So here is the first image, and it is with the 85mm at 1.2. And you can see the bokeh that you're getting in the foreground is really creamy and nice with this steeple, the edge of this building that's coming out. This is shot downtown Helsinki. And then the size of the bokeh coming off these cars it's very, very nice, and like, it's just, everything's gone in the background pretty much. You can't even see the tile formations that create the worst roads ever. Walking around Helsinki will destroy your feet just because of all the cobblestones. Coming over here, this is the 50mm at 1.2 in the exact same location. And what you'll notice is that it's not as creamy and blown out for the exact same spot. Yes, you do have some amazing bokeh, but I would say it's about half as much in this type of shooting situation. I'm going to show you two more in a second, but I'm going to continue talking about this. And they're both going to demonstrate that with these lenses, really you're getting the difference. And This lens allowed, you can see if you look over here on this section right here where the pole is, and I go back to the 85, it's cropped in a little bit right there. And back out and in. Back out and in. And you can see the difference between those two. You get quite a bit more of the environment with your 50mm. And this is a huge deal breaker for anybody that's going to be shooting in buildings in close spaces where they're not going to have the luxury of needing 3 to 4 times the amount of space to take the exact same frame to shot. If you're dealing with large studios and anywhere where there's large spaces, this might not even be a problem with the 85mm, but something to take into consideration. Next is shot up close. So this is up close at 85 with the 85mm f1.2. You can see there's pretty much nothing in the background anymore. And then this one is the 85 shot at f4, and it still blows out the background really, really nice. I would say this looks like probably what a wide open 50mm 1.8 would look like. About that. And it's just so tack sharp and crystal clear right there. And then here is the framing that you will get with the 50mm shot in the exact same. I didn't move my feet at all, and you will see that there's a lot of difference there between these two. And this is also shot at the f4. For some reason I didn't get a good f1.2, and so it didn't make it onto this list for the 50mm to show you. But mostly the framing is what you're going to be getting from these cameras. Or not cameras, and mostly the framing is what you're going to get from these lenses. Both tack sharp, both amazing for the price range. So like I said, you can find these down in the description, linked over to Amazon, wherever you are in the world. And these two, honestly, if you want to have stellar portraits, these two lenses are going to knock it out. They have the best low light that you can really get for these. If you need anything with a little bit more reach, the 85 has you covered. The 50 will give you the environment. The 50mm gives you more of the look that it's like, hey, this is what my eyes normally see, whereas you're always faking it a little bit once you start leaving the 50 range. The 85 is more towards my type of photography. I enjoy being able to select the background a little bit better and being a little bit more picky about what I'm shooting. And which sections I'm pulling into the image rather than taking everything in, which the 50mm allows you to do. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Daniel, and on this channel we go everything mirrorless Canon cameras so that you can nail your next photo shoot with your Canon mirrorless camera. Thank you so much for watching, and don't forget to like and subscribe. As always, take care.